when you start something new and you're not immediately good at it, you crack it. And you're like, oh, I need to do something else. So take your time. It's fine to go slowly. You don't have to be an expert straight away. In this video, I want to give you my 5 top tips for ukulele beginners. People that are just starting to play. Or, if you have played for a little bit, these are still my top 5 tips I reckon you should do and practice a lot, which is also a bonus tip. But I reckon within focusing on these tips, and these can make you the best ukulele player possible. Number 1, get a good ukulele. If you get a rubbish ukulele, it is going to make it not fun or enjoyable to play. So ballpark is I would start off with a soprano ukulele, around $150, $120 to $200, something around that mark. And they sound pretty good. They're very light, they're very easy to travel with, and they're very, very easy to learn. So that'll be my tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to learn how to hold the ukulele. I've made a video discussing this entirely, how to hold the ukulele. But very, very quickly, non-strumming hand, you want to cradle around the neck very, very gently, 45-degree angle, and it rests up against your body or on your hip. If it's resting against your body, have it resting on your forearm, in the meaty part of your forearm here. And that is how you hold the ukulele, and you want to strum in between about the 11th or 10th to 13th fret, which is about in here. That is all you need to do in regards to holding it. But I recommend you watch the other video about where I go through and really break that down, how to do it properly. Tip number 3 is learn the basics. So the basics, in my opinion, is some simple chords and the beginnings of how to strum. So what I would recommend would be, I want you to practice just with open strings, strumming down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That is the spine to nearly every ukulele song. So I really want you to make sure that you can practice doing that. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And you'll find, even when you're doing random things just around, if you're cooking or you play other sports or whatever, you'll find yourself practicing it on that whatever you've got in your hand. That's what I found myself doing, which is a little bit weird, but hey, it helped. And another thing I recommend doing with learning the basics is getting used to playing the chords. So you want to get used to playing a C, going to a G, to an F, to a D minor, E minor, okay? And then you want to learn A minor as well. So I've made videos on how to learn all of those chords, so the majors can be found in the major video, and the minor chords can be found in the minor video, because this is very, very crucial, and every other chord is built off these chords. So once you've learnt that, you're flying, absolutely flying. And I would spend hours just practicing those 6 chords over and over and over again. And then once you've got it, you don't forget it. Tip number 4 would be to take your time. A lot of people, and I was the same, we're all the same, when you start something new and you're not immediately good at it, you crack it. And you're like, oh, I need to do something else. Take your time, learn one thing at a time, and it's going to take a lot of practice, and then you will become good. So just try and focus on learning something new every day, or getting a little bit better each day. Don't worry that you're not by the time you finish the first hour of practicing. That's just not going to happen. So take your time. It's fine to go slowly. You don't have to be an expert straight away. Tip number 5 is the final tip, which is practicing fingering exercises. So practice doing the chords, and even if you're not even playing it, just practice going around like this. If you want to do bar chords, practice doing some bar chords, practice going around, practice doing the eyes closed, and see where you are, sort of thing. Get very familiar with where you are on the ukulele fretboard. And another thing I recommend doing is get used to doing this. Try and use all your fingers. So you can go through the same chords, and you can use your thumb for the top string, index finger for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And you just sort of play around like that. And get used to your fingers doing, not just doing strumming every time. That would be a massive, massive bit of advice. Really practice this just as much as you practice the strumming. That's my number 1 tip out of all of this. Because you don't want to be a one-trick pony. And because you find you get yourself sort of stuck when you only end up playing the same things as well. So really practice the finger exercises, and they are my 5 top tips for any ukulele player to make you an expert. Thank you for watching.